Last week's setback leaves Cowboy football with questions, while Cowgirl soccer is dealing with their own issues.
And reigning champions, men's golf, and other big sports gear up for their seasons.
All this and more coming up on the Poke Report. Hi guys, and welcome to the 2025 season where we talk all things Oklahoma State athletics. I'm Peyton Schmit alongside Zach Berger. Zach, I guess you've heard the news?
Yeah, it's been a crazy past couple of days here in Stillwater. So many people have talked about it possibly happening, but when it finally did, I'm still just so shocked.
I am too, and I'm a little sad, not going to lie. But yeah, Mike Gundy, head coach of Cowboy football, has officially been fired after 20 seasons with the team. How do you feel about it?
It's crazy. It leaves so many questions, right? What happens to this year's players, to possible recruits, and just kind of the rest of the season as a whole?
That is true. Cowboy football has dropped 11 of their past 12 games dating back to last season against FBS opponents. Our very own Preston Hudlow has that game recap against Tulsa.
The losing streak continues for Cowboy football, losing to the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes 19-12, ending their win streak since 1998 and being their first home loss since 1951 to the Golden Hurricanes. OSU started with the ball, driving down the field, getting a 3-0 lead, but Tulsa responded back, airing the ball out for 73 yards, including a 19-yard Braylon Presley touchdown catch. It was all Tulsa for the rest of the half, scoring 3 field goals, while the Pokes punted 4 straight times, being down 16-3 at the half. Tulsa added a field goal to extend their lead as OSU continued to struggle, failing on a 4th and 10. After Dylan Smith recovered a fumble, OSU again came up short, with Rodney Fields getting stuffed on 4th and 2 at Tulsa's 6-yard line. A late third-quarter defensive stop led to OSU's only touchdown, highlighted by a 36-yard run from Fields and a rushing score from quarterback Zane Flores, cutting it to 19-9 after a failed 2-point try. Following 3 punts and a Logan Ward field goal, OSU got one last chance. Flores hit Will Money for 23 yards, but missed a pass on 4th down to end the drive. Tulsa missed a field goal late, but OSU's final play ended with Gavin Freeman forced out at the 10-yard line.
We're not where we were 2 or 3 years ago. We're building back from where we were, and we just have to continue to push forward.
While things may have looked bleak for the Cowboys, safety Parker Robertson still believes everything they want is still out in front of them.
It definitely hurts to lose. No one wants to lose, so we're a very competitive group, and going in the locker room, everyone's picking each other up, saying, we got this. The Big 12 championship is still in our grasp, so we just got to get back to our foundation and keep working.
The Pokes may have looked rocky in the non-conference, but they'll have a clean slate starting conference play next week at home against the Baylor Bears. Reporting from inside Boone Pickens Stadium, for the Poke Report, I'm Preston Hudlow.
Thanks, Preston. That loss to Tulsa seemed to be the final straw for the Cowboys. And Zach, I understand that you got to get more of a behind-the-scenes, in-depth look at what Gundy has done for this program, and let's check it out.
It is official. After 21 seasons at Oklahoma State, the Mike Gundy era has officially come to a close. With last season's 3-9 finish breaking Gundy's bowl streak, losing 69-3 to Oregon this year, and the first loss to Tulsa in Stillwater since 1951, the school decided they have seen enough to relieve Gundy from his head coaching duties effective immediately.
I felt like for the good of the program, it was time to make this decision so that we could start the process of getting the program where we want it to be.
It's no secret the impact Mike Gundy has and will have on Cowboy football. After being the Pokes quarterback and building his way up on the staff, Gundy took the helm for the 2005 season. And once he got his feet under him, he hit the ground running. From 2006 on, Mike Gundy led the Cowboys to 18 consecutive bowl game appearances. Overall, he holds a record of 170-90 as the head coach with 2 Big 12 championships and has won 3 Big 12 Coach of the Year awards. A coaching change like this can cause chaos for a program, and not to mention, it's only week 4, and the Cowboys still have to prep for a tough Baylor Bears opponent. But for now, the Gundy family is making sure that Mike is remembered as the legend he is.
The Gundy family's been very blessed in this state. We've made a lot of great friends, a lot of great people, have had a lot of success. And Mike has had a ton of success, and you can't go through life without having failure, or you can't go through life living a perfect life. Mike's thankful for his opportunity, but, you walk out there with your head up.
Gundy bled America's brightest orange, and it'll be interesting to see the direction this program goes in the absence of what some could say was Cowboy football. For the Poke Report, I'm Zach Berger.
Great insight, Zach. And I guess the big question going forward for this weekend's matchup against Baylor and going forward the rest of the season, rather, is how the Cowboys will bounce back, I guess, losing their head coach.
Yeah, and you got to lean on your stars. One guy that stood out in that Tulsa game was redshirt freshman running back Rodney Fields Jr. Fields rushed 17 carries and for 113 yards. So Matthew brings us an insight on the rising star.
While early season struggles have put Oklahoma State in a tough spot, one player is quickly becoming a bright spot for the Cowboys offense. Redshirt freshman Rodney Fields Jr. is already making his presence felt in Boone Pickens Stadium, showing flashes of speed, strength, and versatility that give the Cowboys fans hope for the weeks ahead. In a post-game interview, Rodney talks about his perspective of the offense chemistry going forward.
We stick together and try to find ways to provide to move the ball down the field so there's no frustration.
An unexpected and devastating loss to Tulsa and Stillwater last Friday has shadowed over a lot with the OSU football program. This matchup marks the first time since 1951 that the Cowboys have lost to Tulsa here in Boone Pickens Stadium. However, one player's performance brings a lot of bright light to the team moving forward. Redshirt freshman running back Rodney Fields Jr. showed flashes of explosion in Boone Pickens Stadium last weekend. Fields' stats say all you need to know about his presence on OSU's offense. Leading the Pokes on the ground with 17 rushing attempts for 113 yards, Fields was a key factor in OSU successfully moving down the field. This phenomenal performance also marked Fields' first 100-yard game for the Cowboys in his collegiate career. Apart from his work in the backfield, Fields recorded 6 receptions for 39 yards, bringing dual-threat momentum on offense throughout all 4 quarters of the game. Fields' ambition to spark positive energy into the locker room is already impacting many other key players. Veteran safety Parker Robertson spoke on how energy from the leaders of the team can go a long way in turning this season around.
Just staying together and not trying to be individualized and turning on each other. So we just got to band together and say, hey, we can get through this. A loss is a loss, but we just got to get through it.
Fields' breakout performance may have been overshadowed by the loss, but his energy and leadership are already being felt in the locker room. As the Cowboys regroup for the rest of the season, they'll be counting on Rodney Fields Jr. to set the tone moving forward. I'm Matthew Larry with the Poke Report.
It was good to see something go right for the Cowboys amidst all the chaos.
It sure was, and Big 12 play starts this weekend for the Cowboys, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
Our very own Connor Fuchsa provides his own insight to teams all across the conference.
Welcome into the Big 12 Roundup. I'm Connor Fuchsa, here to keep you up to date with everything Big 12 football. Now, this past week, there were 11 different Big 12 teams in action, with action kicking off Friday night here in Stillwater between Oklahoma State and Tulsa. Now, Tulsa made the hour drive west to Stillwater, and they made a statement. Coming into this game as 10.5 underdogs, Tulsa didn't look it one bit, going up 16-3 in the first half before eventually winning this game 19-12. It was a great performance for Tulsa from their quarterback, Baylor Hayes, 242 total yards in this game, but it was paired really well with the run game. Dominic Richardson was dominant out there, 157 total yards, and helped lead this Tulsa team to a win over Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State now falls to 1-2 before they start conference play tomorrow against Baylor. Now let's take a look at the entire scoreboard from this past weekend. There was a lot of big games for the Big 12 here. There was the Tech-Utah game, the ranked matchup, SMU-TCU, obviously UCF defeating Bill Belichick's team. But I want to start over with the Arizona State-Baylor game. 2 teams that were considered Big 12 conference favorites coming into the season, obviously the reigning champions in Arizona State. And they were able to get it done in this one with a walk-off field goal from Jesus Gomez. And a lot of that was largely in part to their passing game. They have Sam Leavitt, one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12, throwing for 282 total yards and a touchdown. He got some support on the run game, which is what they've been struggling with in Brown. And then Tyson doing what Tyson does, ending up in the end zone. A lower, number game for him than he's used to, 7 catches, 43 yards. But overall, a great game for Arizona State. But if you're Baylor and you're a Baylor fan, I wouldn't hang your head. You had a great game here. You almost defeated the reigning Big 12 champions, and your team looks great. Sawyer Robinson's looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, up in the top 5 in passing yards for the entire nation. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game. And they got one of the best, if not the best, running back in the Big 12 with Bryson Washington. 17 carries, 128 total yards. He is a dog. So these teams, you're going to be seeing a lot of them for the rest of the Big 12 year. Now, let's move over to another big game that took place this past weekend. Another clash of titans in the number 16 Utah Utes versus the number 17 ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now, this game was not as close. The score does not show how close this game was. For most of the game, it was a defensive battle. Both quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks in Morton and Dampier, threw 2 interceptions in this one. But Tech was able to actually force 2 fumbles as well, winning the turnover battle. And that's kind of what led them to this win. But what really was the shock of this game and what led them to the win is when Baron Morton goes down with injury. Texas Tech fans were probably scared, but fear not, they have a backup quarterback in Will Hammond that can go out and make a play. In a quarter and a half of action, 230 total yards, 2 touchdowns against this great Utah Utes defense, and it leads Texas Tech to the win. That win was enough to move Texas Tech up to number 12 in the AP poll, and they look like they've got a legit chance to be playing in AT&T Stadium come December. Now, the final game I want to hit on is the TCU versus SMU game. Now, SMU is probably tired of the Big 12, to be honest. After losing to Baylor a couple weeks ago and now losing to TCU, not the start they would have wished against Big 12 foes. But for TCU, the thing I want to hit on is the amazing passing game. I mean, we talked about Sawyer Robertson. We talked about Sam Leavitt. The quarterbacks in the Big 12 are playing amazing. You got to put Josh Hoover in contention for one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12. I mean, 379 total yards, 5 touchdowns in this game. But that's not even the biggest storyline. You've got his receiver, Eric McAllister, catching 8 balls for 254 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, that is college football 26 video game numbers in this game, and that's what propelled TCU to the win. So overall, a great weekend for the Big 12. So let's go back to the big board real quick one more time. I mean, a great weekend. You can touch on a couple of the games. UCF with a big dominant win over UNC. The Big 12 has looked great against the ACC this year. And just in general, against non-conference teams, Big 12 went 4-1 this weekend. That's what you want to see out of your non-conference play from the Big 12. Now, one more thing I want to hit on before we go. We just talked about the red-hot TCU team. We talked about the Arizona State team that just beat Baylor. They're going to be duking it out Friday night in Tempe, Arizona. So make sure you tune in on your TVs to Arizona State versus TCU Friday night. You don't want to miss that game. But for now, thanks for watching the Big 12 Roundup, and make sure to tune in next week to stay up to date with everything Big 12 football.
Thanks, Connor.
Don't go anywhere because after the break, we will talk more things Oklahoma State athletics.
I want to show you something. This is the money we could save by switching from fresh packed California crushed tomatoes to concentrated tomato paste.
I want to show you something too. I got a new door. Go take a look at it.
Nobody uses better ingredients than Little Caesars. Like fresh-packed California crushed tomatoes. Pick up a large, deep dish for just $8.
Pizza. Introducing Lincoln Black Label at Diffie Ford Lincoln. Designed to impress those with impeccable taste, Lincoln Black Label features a collection of interior themes and a host of exclusive membership privileges inspired by attention to detail and a love of automobiles. With Lincoln Black Label, you'll enjoy an extended premium maintenance plan that covers wear items or even remote vehicle delivery. Lincoln Black Label isn't about luxury ownership, it's about membership. Lincoln Black Label, exclusively at Diffie.
Welcome back into the Poke Report, and thanks for sticking with us through that break. Cowgirls soccer has been dealing with some injuries to some of their key players like Extra Pineda and Gracie Ben-Boydell, but they still put up a great fight in their Big 12 opener against Kansas.
And now the Cowgirls are currently in Arizona trying to avenge that loss.
Let's send it down to our very own Alexis, who's going to give us the insight on what went wrong for the Cowgirls.
Fall means soccer season is upon us, and the Cowgirl soccer team came into the first conference matchup of the season on a 2-game winning streak. Their first Big 12 game of the season had them facing a strong, nationally ranked Kansas Jayhawks team. Oklahoma State started the game out strong and had an advantage late in the first half after Kansas's Jordan Rowan received a red card for cleating goalkeeper Logan Marks in the face. Unfortunately for the Cowgirls, Marks wouldn't return to the game, and a later injury to midfielder Bella Parati depleted OSU even more. Coach Colin Carmichael talks about the adversity his team has faced with injuries.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hit with a lot of adversity, and they've shown how resilient they are. Get down on yourself and lose confidence, but these guys are still playing hard, they're still competing, and I'm convinced that if we keep doing that, the results will turn and we'll have some good things happen.
In the 56th minute, Kansas would break the tie with a goal by Caroline Castens that would be the deciding factor. Kansas would go on to win the game 1-0. Oklahoma State falls to 4-4-1 on the season and 0-1 in Big 12 play.
With conference play underway, the Cowgirls are hitting the road for a couple weeks and are looking to get some important results.
Their next games are at Arizona State and Arizona next Thursday and Sunday. Sophomore Bella Parati says the team is staying positive and looking ahead.
It's kind of hard. There's obviously some days where it's not very fun and it's very negative, but just having the group of girls around us, like there's been so many injuries and it makes it so much easier when we have such a close connection with everyone, and you know that people have your backs and there will be hard days, but you can turn to anyone around you, and they've got your back to help you keep moving forward. But kind of just looking at the big picture and focusing on what's important for the team, and then doing stuff individually, obviously, to get healthy again, but just excited to see what we can do as a team moving forward.
The Cowgirls return home on October 6th for another Big 12 game against top 10 team BYU. For the Poke Report, I'm Alexis Burnett.
Thanks, Alexis. It'll be interesting to see how the Cowgirls bounce back in Arizona.
Now switching over to the mound, Cowgirls softball is getting ready for their fall exhibition season next week.
Yeah, they'll play teams like McLennan and Arkansas.
And this fall ball slate will be great for the Cowgirls to help prepare them for the 2026 season.
Don't go anywhere. We've got one more break for y'all, and then we'll talk some cross country and our favorite segment, which Zach hopefully can match up with Steve from last year. He took that big L. I don't know, but we got that Pick'em segment coming up.
I want to show you something. This is the money we could save by switching from fresh packed California crushed tomatoes to concentrated tomato paste.
I want to show you something too. I got a new door. Go take a look at it.
Nobody uses better ingredients than Little Caesars. Like fresh-packed California crushed tomatoes. Pick up a large, deep dish for just $8.
Pizza. Introducing Lincoln Black Label at Diffie Ford Lincoln. Designed to impress those with impeccable taste, Lincoln Black Label features a collection of interior themes and a host of exclusive membership privileges, inspired by attention to detail and a love of automobiles. With Lincoln Black Label, you'll enjoy an extended premium maintenance plan that covers wear items or even remote vehicle delivery. Lincoln Black Label isn't about luxury ownership, it's about membership. Lincoln Black Label, exclusively at Diffie.
Welcome back into the Poke Report, and thanks for sticking with us. Cowgirl and Cowboy Cross Country hosted the Jamboree this morning.
And they'll have a couple more meets before Big 12 competition starts.
Now we can't talk about softball and not talk about baseball, and they have some exhibition games coming up this weekend.
And now leading the Cowboys is fifth-year senior Aiden Miola, who's coming off a pretty scary season-ending injury.
Yeah, he's battled with injuries throughout his entire career here as a Cowboy. Our very own Evan got the chance to sit down with him and learn about his expectations for this season.
With the introduction of the transfer portal in college sports, it's rare for a player to stay with the same team their whole college career. Aiden Miola has exemplified the loyal and true mentality for Oklahoma State baseball after multiple injuries and is now returning for his fifth and final year.
I've been through injuries and a lot of hardship since I've been here, so it's kind of an honor that the coaching staff kind of has stuck by me. You can't really find that everywhere now, especially with the transfer portal and guys are changing schools every year.
Aiden has suffered from multiple concussions freshman year, thumb surgery sophomore year, 5 hamstring strains junior year, and last season, labrum surgery. Aiden's adversity has been proven over and over. He is a leader for the Cowboys despite his bumps in the road.
I would say after last year's injury, there was a couple week period where I was just going to quit and be done playing. But I would kind of say what kept me going was my teammates and my family. And
There's been one person that has shown him more support than anyone else. Assistant coach Victor Romero has firsthand seen the impact that Aiden has set for Oklahoma State baseball.
I truly believe he's going to have the best year of his life, and he's going to impact the game. He's going to impact our team, simply because he's made some real sacrifices. And in life, it's about how you get back up. And when I talk about real sacrifices, I mean he's done everything right. He's rehabbed. He's done so many things to stay here and actually be here.
The support poured in by coaches and players has been Aiden's crutch when he wanted to give it all up. The motivation has flowed into this upcoming season, Aiden's final ride.
To actually see him the past, I've known him for 7 years now, which is kind of crazy. But he's grown, and again, we're extremely close. But I just think when things line up right and you start to see pieces falling in the right direction, and it comes with real sacrifices, him being a great teammate, I think this year's going to be really special.
Just have fun and win as many games as possible or win a national championship.
Aiden Miola's last season can be a testament after all the adversity. Through all the injuries and setbacks, Aiden has proven that he is a Cowboy for life. For the Poke Report, I'm Evan Sheehan.
Thanks, Evan. Now Cowboy golf has been a juggernaut here recently.
Oh, absolutely, Peyton. It's going to be really interesting to see if they can continue that dominance.
Right. Our very own Pearson gets us an inside look as to what Cowboy golf is looking like now.
State men's golf made a miracle comeback at the Fight in Illini Invitational this past weekend. Going into the final day of play, OSU was in third place and 10 shots behind Florida, who was leading the tournament. The Cowboys were led by junior Gavin Lane, who finished the tournament tied for second, shooting just a one stroke off first place. 2 more Cowboys would finish in the top 10 to help secure the comeback and win by 2 strokes. The Cowboys' final round comeback is the largest in the tournament's history. This marks the first win for the team this season after coming off a national championship win last year.
OSU returns all 5 starters from their national championship victory a season ago as they are looking for a repeat title. Players such as Ethan Fang and Eric Lee were brought in as transfers from California. Head coach Alan Bratton opens up about the transfer portal and recruiting in college golf.
I don't think it's really any different. I don't think there's the tampering that's going on and all the money that's being thrown around in other sports, but it's just another component to recruiting. You're always looking to see what's out there and how you can better your team, and we were fortunate to be able to do that.
After winning the national championship last year, Ethan Fang was asked what drew him to transfer to Oklahoma State.
Obviously, the number one message he told me was if you want to win a national champion, you got to come to Oklahoma State, and he was right. So I'm at loss of words right now, and I'm just glad we got it done.
The Cowboys will look to add another team victory as they will head to Notre Dame for the Fighting Irish Classic on October 6th. For the Poke Report, I'm Pearson Gillum.
Now, Zach, it's time for the Pick'em segment, and I don't know if you tuned into last year's show, but I kind of kicked Steve's butt a little bit, and he had to eat a spicy wing.
Yeah, I'm not a big spice guy, so I'm not trying to lose this year.
All right, well, let's get into it. First team we're going to be doing some picks for is Auburn versus Texas A&M. I don't know about you, Zach, but I'm going the Aggies.
Yeah, I've liked the way Arnold's looked, but I can't take A&M. Marcel Reed, he's been rolling.
All right, now we have Oregon and Penn State. I'm going to do Oregon.
Yeah?
I really like how they're looking. I didn't like what they did to the Cowboys a couple weekends ago, but I'm going to pick the Ducks.
I think the one thing you're forgetting is it's a whiteout game at Penn State. I could never pick against a whiteout game for the Nittany Lion, so I got Penn State.
To each their own. Now we have Alabama and Georgia, and I'm going Georgia all the way. I cannot stand Alabama.
No, I think I agree with you. If Bama would look more consistent, maybe I go their way, but Kirby Smart and Georgia, I got them too.
Okay, Iowa State and Arizona, who are you going with?
I'll go Iowa State. They've looked shaky to me, but Arizona honestly has looked worse, if I'm being honest.
That's crazy. I'm also going to go Iowa State. I like how Rocco Beck is looking back there.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have our game for this weekend, Baylor and Oklahoma State. I wish I could say Oklahoma State, but I'm trying to win again. Be undefeated 2-0 with the Poke Report Pick'em segment, so I'm going to go B.
Yeah, so much change here for OSU. I'd love to root for them, see some things change, but I just don't think we see it right away, so I got Baylor too.
And that's all the time we have for this episode of the Poke Report, but stay tuned into next week's show because we'll be on site in Arizona, so that'll be super fun.
Go Pokes.